Bamf.
Honey?
What?
Can you pass me my phone cord and we'll drape it behind you?
Oh, can do.
And what do you want to do about food? You want me to start at like 5:30? Because it doesn't take too long.
Yeah, it takes like 10 minutes to do the baking, yeah. And then I'll do my toasty toast.
Wife will listen, maybe.
That's okay. You don't have to participate too much unless you want. And if you really, really, really wanted to participate, I can try and find a way to where it doesn't bleed over too much and use the TV for stuff. Damn it. Why am I not online yet? I hate the Twitch phone app right now because it doesn't show me live for like 2 minutes. It's a putz. Just now, 17 seconds past broadcast. No, it's live. You just don't want to fucking recognize it. Okay, fine. I'll just fix that in a second. Alright. And this is why this part goes on YouTube, and the better version that we use with Craig goes on the thing, but I didn't post that this week, so I need to post 2 episodes tomorrow, I guess. Or something. I don't know. Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's 2 minutes to midnight, and this is your atomic silver lining in the mushroom cloud. This is Disdonn.
And Steve.
And we have a special guest this week. One special guest. We might have another one popping in later. Do we know you, sir?
Does that work?
Yes, that worked, Kutsu.
Yay.
We totally made sure to put that on for a reason. So now
Good
I have
job.
to add that. Now I have to add that to the recording. Great.
Yes. Exactly.
That's
Hi.
okay. Hi. You are who?
Well, I can't do it again. It's on cooldown. I'm... Blah, blah, blah.
He's Kutsu Shita.
Oh,
He's
that
a friend
guy.
of ours for a while. He's been part of our Stardew Valley streams.
Yes. Remember those.
We haven't
I
done that in
don't.
a while because we kind of beat the game, didn't we, Steve?
Oh, yeah.
So can you tell people about yourself a little bit? You're from this place called Holland or something?
No. No. I'm from a place called the Netherlands, okay?
The Netherlands, okay. And they
Yes.
wear wooden shoes, right? And have windmills?
Yes. Not to be confused with the Nether Regions. That's something else. I'm also from there, technically, at some point. But, you know, I moved on.
You moved on.
And now I'm
spent
in
9 months in a different-
Netherlands.
You moved on from one nether region, spent 9 months in a different nether region, and now you're in the Netherlands.
Exactly. I moved up in the world. Go from region to land to, like, I don't know, planet to universe. We'll see.
But yes, and I've known Kutsu for a little bit. He's associated with the Friday Night Fanfiction fandom. He's been in and around my streams quite a bit for quite a while. He's very...
I have the points to show it.
He's the only person who rivals me in points. The points don't matter, but...
But I have them, so they matter to me! Damn it.
Chrono Tyrant stopped being able to show up for half my streams, so you were able to take the title from him very handily. I'm sure he still regrets that. But
Yeah,
we named a
well.
cat after him in Stardew, so
Exactly.
things are better. So how's your week been, Steve?
Oh, you know. Let's see, one of my articles here. Where did that go?
We're already getting into the articles, or are you trying to use that as an
Let's see.
apt analogy for your week?
4 arrested after high-speed chase in Bemidji.
Oh, did that happen outside your house?
I heard a siren at some point, and I'm assuming it was this.
Well, I mean, last weekend we had that shooting at McDonald's across the river, in the Fargo side, which was very sad.
So it's not really worth being a full article, but
That happened in your
it's good
last
for how
week.
my week is.
And then you spent the last half hour trying to make your microphone work.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm still having this problem with 100% disk usage whenever I open a program.
Oh, isn't that great? Thank you, Windows.
I've been having it for a month, no matter how many ways I've tried to fix it. I've turned off Superfetch and a bunch of other things.
Yeah, there's some stupid background program that's eating your shit.
Yeah.
I spent the first half of my week very, very sick. Like, I missed 2 days of work and was sick and canceled streams and was basically bedridden for like 3 days.
But you got to talk to me, so that made it all worthwhile.
Oh God.
What did we wind up watching that one day? Oh yeah, we watched Black Panther and Thor on Netflix over Rapey.
Yeah, so we just hung out while you were dying.
I mean, yeah, I was eating Tums like candy and determining whether or not I could survive taking an extra dose of Pepsid, even though I was only supposed to take 2. The heartburn was that bad. I was nauseous and throwing up, and it was not fun. Hooray, missing organs. My body's still getting used to it.
I mean, it was fun for me. I got to watch Black Panther and Thor Ragnarok.
Black Panther was basically... I mean, I know this is like super old news to a lot of people, but Black Panther was basically The Lion King. With superheroes. Kind of. Like
Yeah,
Lion
pretty
King,
much.
Lion King x Hamlet.
What now? Hamlet. Okay.
I mean, you know, because of the family dynamic stuff. You know, the dad king
I guess.
dies, and then you got, like, a rivalry over the throne with, you know, other relatives.
I mean,
Some
that's
people
still a lion.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Lion King is basically Hamlet with lions, so... Yeah.
So now it's Hamlet with Panthers.
And Black Panthers, so... But that was our week. But yeah, if you don't know, this is the Atomic Silver Lining podcast where we, you know, go over the lovely entertainment and pop culture stuff while our political sphere turns us one step closer to the end of the world and irradiated and whatever. So, it's all of the fun things that are going on while we're slowly descending into madness. The Elder Gods will return, and we will be driven mad by tentacle freaks that will hopefully eat Washington, D.C. Hopefully. At least first. Probably move to other cities later. So we got gaming news first.
Who would start there? I mean, honestly, those tentacle demons would have terrible taste.
I mean...
They would start with me, let's be honest. Come on.
I'm sure that's what you want, Kutsu.
Oh, not really.
Them to start in the Netherlands, where the madness is not. They feed on madness. Madness is literally taking over our country, so they'll start there. But
Well, yeah,
gaming
if they want
news-
madness, sure.
Gaming news. Probably the biggest bit of gaming news this week. Super Mario Brothers, the original. Somebody achieved a speedrun that was almost as good as a tool-assisted speedrun without tool assist. 4 minutes and 55 seconds and 96 nanoseconds. So just under 4 minutes and 56 seconds. Only until now achievable with computer assists. Done live on Twitch earlier this week by who was it again? Who's the dude? Where's
Cosmic D.
Cosmic D12. And he's one of the most well-known Super Mario Bros. Runners. This is a game that's as old as my ass. It's like a 33-year-old game, and they're still finding ways to shave minuscule amounts of time off the speedruns. They're almost to the perfect run where they cannot get any faster. They've pretty much found the perfect run for the tool-assisted, unless they discover new glitches. And that's currently at like 4 minutes and 53 seconds or something.
Is it?
But yeah, with tool assisted, which is basically where the emulator program makes certain inputs for you by predicting what you're about to do based on the fact that you have to do frame perfect glitches. So it basically circumvents your inputs and makes them makes those frame perfect inputs for you or something. So it has basically almost been completely mastered at this point, which is great news.
That is extremely impressive.
And
I mean,
it's
I
only
think it's-
after 33 years, you know?
I think it's closer to the task than you think. I think it's literally in the same seconds, like half a second slower or something.
I don't know. It's.
Oh, hold on. This one says 4 minutes and 54 seconds. So I guess it's like a little over a second.
I mean, yeah,
Like
it's
almost 2 seconds.
It's pretty insane. When I can barely beat the game at all without using save states and hacks and crap, that's something to see people beating that game that quick.
Yeah, no, totally.
And I know that other games like Castlevania 1 are practically perfectly achieved as well at like just under 12 minutes. It's insane. But it doesn't
Gods
stop me
live among us, and they waste their time on video games.
Well, what was it that we were saying earlier about Twitch in the regular chat on my Discord? Speaking of which, if you're watching, !Discord, you can join the Discord, join the podcast if you want while you're in here. We were saying something about how Twitch should just make an advertisement saying, the experience of watching your older brother play, but,
Bring back those memories with Twitch.
Yep. And then Frosty, my actual IRL bro, is like, yes, and it's actually the same thing now. I love you, bro. But yeah, that's just that. What news did you want to go to next? Did you want to do the update on Telltale, or do you want to go with the boob debate? Because we got those. Meanwhile, I'm gonna see if there's anything new that's shown up. Hello?
What?
Did you want to talk about the boobs in Fortnite, or do you want to talk about the update?
Let's go with boobs. Our last week was pretty penis heavy.
Okay. So Fortnite has Season 6 just came out, right? So they have unintended breast physics in one of the dances, emote things, with one of the new skins for Season 6. And it's the one where like they do the little arms in the air and do the little jog and run in place and go in circles. There's a little bit of boob jiggling. And it caused a huge debate because it was not intended to actually be made live. Which is weird because you don't add boob physics to an emote for a specific skin and forget to remove it before the update. Especially when Epic Games is basically saying, we never were intending to have boob physics in the game at all. It's too sexist. It's like, really? I mean, people buy Dead or Alive just for the boob physics.
Someone made it their goal to work on boob physics that would never make it in the game.
Well, someone did. And
Clearly someone is lonely and jerking off in the closet at their HQ.
I mean, you know, I'm surprised that they haven't added jiggle physics to frickin' Overwatch with how many people have already considered themselves with waifus for all that. Also, I've got a new article that I've just found that I'm going to add to the docket. It's just a thing. It's a thing that we can quickly peruse. because it's going to bring up a topic of which we've been flooding the meme section with all week. So that's a good way to talk about
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, boob physics was quickly removed, I think, from that. And that brings us to the second part of the Fortnite news. Guess who's finally opening up crossplay after being bitched at for the last 6 months?
Oh, yeah.
Because they basically locked people out of getting it on their Nintendo Switches and having to start over. Yeah. Sony has finally given up the ghost and is allowing crossplay. They're starting with Fortnite, and they say for select third-party content. People have talked to the creators of Rocket League, and Rocket League's like, we don't fucking know. It's all up to Sony. They say select games. If they come to us with the keys to the kingdom and the passwords to make it cross-playable, we'll fucking do it. So, oh god. Okay. There's also another one. I've got to add this to it as well. God damn it. Now I've got to download a freaking mod. Fuck.
Oh god, what did you find?
Apparently, yeah, we'll talk about it in 5 seconds.
Oh god.
Oh god, it's like
Jesus.
just last minute news articles.
Those are usually
breaking
end up being the best, though.
It's really funny because I didn't think that it would be this quick that some of this shit would happen. But yeah, this was breaking news earlier this week with the PlayStation finally giving it up. And Activision Blizzard is very, very interested in this because they've been wanting to make crossplay for Diablo 3 for sure, and possibly Overwatch. Because Overwatch doesn't have crossplay yet, but they have crossplay with Hearthstone. So they're trying to work on shit. And Minecraft is another big one that they want to add. They want to add PlayStation to the Minecraft ecosystem. So then it would be Minecraft on PS4, Switch, PlayStation, or no, Switch, PS4, PC, and Xbox. So play together. It's great. So we're going to go into the next bit of news here that I just came into. First part, Nintendo and Bowsette. Bowsette, if you don't know, has been a pretty big thing that came out of the last Nintendo Direct. It kind of just spawned on Twitter and became a freaking... It became everything for a while. I know the Friday Night Fanfiction chat is full of a lot of the memes, both lewd and not so lewd. And basically it was somebody drew a comic after the announcement of New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, where Toadette puts on a Peach crown, becomes Peachette, because they can't possibly make Peach in it like in Mario 2. So they did that, and then people started thinking, wait, if the crown turns people into Peach, what if... And then the first thought was Bowser. So, a tweet went out with a comic of somebody doing the ending of Mario Odyssey, where Bowser and Mario are both rejected by Peach, and they're just crying, and they're having a bromance. And then Bowser brings out the Super Crown. And then next thing you see is a female Bowser that looks sort of like Peach with Mario on the tennis court. So, that has now spawned so much fan art and Rule 63 all over the internet. It is insane. You've seen some of this, haven't you, Kutsu?
No, I'm blind. I mean, I'd have to be in order to not see it.
You're blind from all of the Bowsette. It's everywhere.
Basically. Like, it's all like burned onto my retinas. It's all Bowsette.
And they've extended it even further. They've gone pretty much all through the Mario gamut. There was even a King DDD one. They've basically been trying to do it for everybody in Smash. There was one with Ridley, which was hilarious. DDD, and they're slowly going through the whole everything, which is hilarious.
I'm
And
thinking
also,
you need to do a meme stream.
I really do need to do a meme stream
Yeah,
one of these days.
just go through all the Bowsette stuff that you can show on Twitch.
That's gonna be the problem. Is I'd have to like literally pre-download all of the non-lewd stuff, or else I'd get Twitch banned.
Huh. I mean, you'd have to... It's like a needle in a haystack.
Oh, there's a pretty big haystack, and there's a lot of
yeah.
needles. There's a lot of needles.
Sure.
But the other thing that I just found, which was a sidebar to the PS4 article that I had, play as Bowsette in Super Mario 64. Someone has already modded a playable Bowsette into Mario 64.
We're going to have to get my N64 emulator working properly, and then we're going to have to both play that.
And it's... it's... There was a commission for the mod, but it was done, and quickly. And Bowsette has a permanent fire flower ability. And it's pretty cool. It even looks legit, like it belongs in Mario. And it's funny because there was a little bit of discussion about the Bowsette meme with the whole picture change from Peach to Bowser in Mario 64 in that first Bowser area, that they were hinting at it that far back, which is hilarious. And there are obviously people who are trying to petition Nintendo to actually make it a thing.
They do need to. And then for their first DLC, they need to have Bowsette and Smash.
Like that, yeah, that would be very interesting to add that as a Smash character, because that would
New
Just be a
main.
reskin of Peach, right?
it could be a reskin of Peach with like a blend of the moves between Peach and Bowser. Though, honestly, if they do that, I'm hoping that one of the skins is the red-haired Bowsette, because that's another point of contention with this, is if you remember way back when, in the NES, Peach had red hair. Because blonde didn't show up very well. Obviously.
And then the point of contention on how dark her skin is.
Oh yeah. So like yeah, I like the Gerudo skinned red hair version as more of appropriate, because Bowser is a turtle dragon thing. Don't you think that Bowser?
Yeah, and she kind of only gets the shell and horns.
Yeah, Bowser would definitely soak in the sun a lot, so not gonna be pasty pale as fuck. So it makes more sense from.
I mean, it just
artistic
looks.
standpoint.
Yeah, also it looks better in terms of.
Contrast.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if Peach is gonna be blonde and bimbo-y, it's more contrasting. So, yeah. Anyway, we've got... What do we got? But that's that. And then we got the update from last week. Last week we had the big studios are closing section. And this week we have an update to that. Telltale Games, they fired 285 employees. And Jim Sterling did a big thing on this. So if you really, really, really want to know the full about every in and out about this and the California law that's allowing them to probably completely fuck over Telltale, or what's left of it. Basically, there's an act on the books called the Warren Act, WARN, that says that if you're about to do massive layoffs because you're going bankrupt, you have to give your employees 60 days notice. It's a federal law. There's a couple of loopholes that Telltale may be able to get out of it with on the federal level, but since they're in California, those rules have been circumvented by state rules. So there's a good chance that there's 60 days of back pay for 285 employees
401k contributions and pension and severance pay that would have to be paid out to all of these people who were fired. And they're filing a class action lawsuit, which could go on for a long time. And considering that Telltale is probably going to be defunct and have absolutely no money soon, it's going to be hard to bleed that turnip. But the point is that they're trying to make a statement saying companies should not be able to do this to employees, especially in the video game industry, where they're basically hired as a contracted worker for one game for a lot of these studios, and then most of the time they get fired. Or at least laid off until the next game comes in and then they're brought back. So it's like this battle of employment and unemployment, and it's like they got to start fucking treating their people better.
I need to assemble a team. You think I should go down to Home Depot and hire there?
I don't know if you're going to be hiring at Home Depot.
No, out in front of Home Depot.
Ooh.
It's a South Park joke.
Rabble, rabble.
Okay. I got breaking news. 1 second. I've got to do a thing first. One moment.
Don't break the news.
Yeah, you will.
I have been accepted for October's DGDS. Tentatively October 21st, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's Sunday, the 21st.
What time is that in Central?
7.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, it's not my pick.
Well, I have to wake up early to make fun of you.
You can wake up early to make fun of me, and the fun thing about this is I'm going to say this because this is something that I use as my application. We're going to be doing the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention again, obviously, because October is another suicide prevention month. But the thing is that I have a incentive goal. The last couple of months I've been doing Bean Boozled, right? So like $10, I eat a bean. This month, beans are going to be completely optional for me. It's entirely going to be, I'm going to be trying to do a quick, fast, half-hour or so run of Castlevania 1. And then after Castlevania, I'm going to be playing Mega Man 2. And depending on how many donations I get in the Castlevania run, depends on how I play Mega Man 2. $50 I play hard mode. $75 I do randomizer. $100 if I raise $100 during my segment. Then the first part, I'm going to be playing a hard mode randomizer of Mega Man 2. And Kutsu, what happened the last time that I played a randomizer that you watched? Was it full of crabs?
There were quite a few crabs. I mean, I would have liked more crabs to be like, come on. Some levels did not have crabs, Dizzy.
I know. Some levels didn't have enough crabs.
They need to add crabs to Mega Man Maker.
Yes. But
Obviously.
yeah.
I would make so many levels.
Oh, God. But yes, so that is an announcement that I can now give out. I will have to update my DGDS thing. But yeah, if I have to change the time due to it being one weekend where my wife's parents will be off, and I will be down in her parents' hometown area, then I can probably try and do like Friday night, because I'll have that Friday off. But for now, it's Sunday morning. So
Well, that would make it a lot easier to make fun of you.
I'll be sober as fuck and drinking lots of coffee. But yes.
It's not sober games done slowly.
Well, the drinking is completely optional. But yes, that's an announcement. I wasn't expecting them to get back to me that fast because they just closed the applications yesterday. So that's good. That's good stuff. But yeah, Telltale Games, getting back on topic, pretty fucked. And there's also another Jim Sterling video that I saw earlier this week that was originally intended to basically be the downfall in quality of Telltale because they've been pushing out shit in the same engine for 5 years now with absolutely no, improvement graphically to anything, and the choice system's the same. But then they announced their closure, so you updated that to be, this is why they're closing, which it makes a lot of sense. Apparently a lot of people, mostly because I haven't had enough money to buy 4 Telltale games a fucking year, and they've been doing properties that I haven't been that interested in. But I do have Batman Season 1 because of PS Plus. And I do have Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead on PC. As well as I used to have Walking Dead Season 2. And I think I don't know where, but I think I've got Tales from the Borderlands. But I'm not sure where. But So I've got a lot of Telltale games. I've played a lot of Telltale games, but their quality has gone down a bit, which sucks.
So you're telling me there will never be another Borderlands?
There will be another Borderlands. It's Tales from the Borderlands, the serialized episodic game series that they did that kind of filled in the gap of post Borderlands 2, about what happened to Handsome Jack and Atlas and whatever, Hyperion? Yeah, Hyperion. And all that, and his company and everything. So, it filled in that gap. So that way when they come in and do number 3, that's taken care of. Just general running down a list here of stuff that's going on. We have MapleStory 2 is currently in beta next month. I don't give 2 fucks. Tropico 6 is also in beta, and it's only if you pre-ordered the game for both of those. Bungie's filed a trademark, but I don't know what that means. It might be a movie, it might be games. Fuck if we know. Flying Loot Lake Island is moving around in Fortnite, apparently. And I'm just going through Fada's gaming stuff with just stuff that's going on today. Okay, so not really a lot going on this week. Okay. So that's all gaming news so far. Thoughts on anything else? Thoughts on Bowsette? Thoughts on Telltale?
Oh, I have plenty of thoughts on Bowsette. I just probably can't say any of them.
Yeah.
This is.
Don't think you want to get Twitch banned.
Hey, as long as we're not showing things, we can say things. I mean, Friday Night Fanfiction reads on Twitch, or at least it did for a while. And they didn't get Twitch banned, so you can read fanfiction on Twitch. You just have to keep it within certain bounds, like adults only streams. After 9 o'clock, just like cable.
The watershed can't stop Bowsette.
The watershed can't stop anything, can it, Kutsu?
Well, not if it's Bowsette, no.
Oh no.
Or Bowsette tier, you know.
Alright, so that will bring us to the entertainment news. Steve's probably going to want to talk about this. First. Doomsday Clock.
Yes.
I have not read fuck all of it. You tell me. What's going on with Doomsday Clock?
A lot. So, you know, the new 52 didn't sell that great.
Even though Animal Man was amazing, it didn't sell for shit.
Yeah, it had a few good titles, but it seemed to have like 3 bad ones for every good one. So they decided they were going to do yet another reboot with the Rebirth storyline.
And what was it that they were trying to do with New 52? They were trying to do what? Get rid of all of the boring and troublesome continuity that they keep having to retcon.
Yeah, pretty much. Now they're bringing some of that back with Rebirth. They pulled Wally West out of the Speed Force, the
Yay!
white Wally West.
I mean,
And
do we have
now they've retconned it so that Black Wally West and White Wally West are both named after an older relative named Wallace West. So they're related, but they're now two separate characters.
That's good.
So now we got another Wally West. So
Kutsu
basically,
says he's going to pee.
yeah, Flashpoint fucked everything up, which made way for them to launch the Rebirth storyline.
The New 52 is what Flashpoint brought, and then Rebirth is from... God, what did they do for Rebirth? Wasn't it like some sort of crisis?
Kind of. I've been reading and trying to catch up on some of the titles. But eventually Batman and the Flash find the comedian's button embedded in the wall of the Batcave. So now we've got a new Rorschach, and he's working with Ozymandias to try to track down Dr. Manhattan, who has gone into the mainstream DC universe and fucked everything up.
Okay, so I just looked it up on Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia. Apparently, Multiversity from Grant Morrison and the Convergence storylines are what created Rebirth. Basically, it was taking... Basically, the New 52 was a completely new continuity, and then all of the old continuity crashed into it. And that's how we got Rebirth. So, continue.
Oh, so that's what happened. Yeah, it's been kind of hard to figure out what the hell exactly happened. Picking up here. It would have been a lot easier if I'd followed more of the New 52, but... You know, I couldn't afford to buy comics every week.
Oh yeah, I know. Same here. I just had to recently tell the comic shop that there's 3 months worth of comics that they have to put back on the shelf that were in my box because I can't afford them. It's sad. I had lots of issues of things that I can't buy anymore because I have no money.
So, yeah, Ozymandias went to talk to Lex Luthor while the new Rorschach went to talk to Batman. Rorschach ate Batman's pancakes.
Well, you know, when's Rorschach not eating food?
Well, this is a new Rorschach. Because, spoilers for, you know, an
Book
ancient
older than I am.
book. Yeah, but the original Rorschach died in Watchmen. But I don't know, should I spoil who the new one is?
Go right ahead.
The new Rorschach is the son of the psychiatrist who treated Rorschach in the prison. He
That's actually pretty fucking
survived.
cool.
Yeah, he survived
the weird alien thing.
Yeah, but kind of went insane after it. So he wound up in an asylum.
Rorschach's spirit, whatever.
What's really cool about this is he ended up in an asylum, but he ended up in the same asylum as Mothman. Most people won't remember Mothman because he was only on like 2 panels and just casually
5
mentioned.
seconds of the movie.
Yeah, where he bit somebody. I like Mothman.
Where he bit somebody during the intro sequence, which was a pretty awesome intro sequence, to be honest.
Yeah, it's great. He rigs together a new set of wings out of a bunch of bedding and bed springs, but he can't wear clothes when he's flying because it weighs him down too much. So he goes flying naked.
What?
I freaking love Mothman.
Just because you want to go flying naked doesn't mean that's...
Who doesn't?
I'd get cold.
We would too. It's becoming winter here. There's been frost. It's not even October and there's been frost. They're talking snow in like a week. That four-letter word that
It
falls for 6
supposedly
months.
did snow where I'm originally from.
Supposedly. If it didn't snow where I'm at, it didn't snow where you're from. There was a frost. There's a difference. People
I'll
just
have you
say it's
know.
snow.
The Netherlands is actually higher up north than you are.
And yet, you have milder winters somehow.
Shh!
Is
Don't
it that
jinx it.
lovely? Is it that because of that lovely ocean you have?
Yes, it is. Nice
Also,
and warm.
a new revelation is that it seems that Dr. Manhattan killed off Alan Scott,
Who's Alan Scott again?
the original Green Lantern.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he changed the timeline by moving his lantern to where he couldn't get it in time, so he died in a crash. So Dr. Manhattan is subtly influencing the timeline to make everything go wonky.
But wait, didn't the original Green Lantern die in that way?
I would have to look it up, but
That'd
that's
be
the
weird if
problem
like
with comics
if
having so many years of continuity
you have to look shit up.
and reboots.
But yeah, that's freaking crazy. They're basically blending Watchmen with the current continuity reboot in order to basically explain what the fuck happened.
Yeah,
with
Dr.
the-
Manhattan seems to be making it so that the Justice Society never happened. For some reason.
He must hate those guys.
He also completely killed Eobard Thawne.
Wait, yeah, I remember. I think I have that issue. Those issues of the Flash and Batman, the button, that four
Yep.
that 4-part thing.
I
That
read that
started
this
it.
week.
And holy shit, was that crazy! It's like Eobard Thawne was immortal basically because of his ability to basically be Barry Allen but the negative Barry Allen. So they were basically immortal and able to use the Speed Force to cheat death for like ever. But then, Dr. Manhattan up and basically removed him from the Speed Force.
I wanted more Thomas Wayne.
So who doesn't? Thomas Wayne Batman is the best.
But especially finally seeing Batman meet with his father again in an alternate timeline. I just wanted, like, a whole comic series dedicated to that.
I just wanted them to hug. For longer.
I like how he threw a batarang to knock the gun out of his hand.
We don't do that here. I'm Batman.
Yeah, just little stuff like that. I wanted to see more.
But yeah. DC's Rebirth has been, on a whole, so much better than what Marvel's been doing lately.
That's the weird thing. Like, Marvel is nailing it with their movies, but their comics have gone to shit. DC is nailing it with the comics, but they can't make a good movie to save their lives.
Wonder Woman.
One good movie. One.
Hopefully Aquaman and Shazam.
I'm hoping that
Shazam looks fun. Admit it. Shazam looks fun.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they keep the whole lighthearted tone and do Shazam correctly. That's what people want. They're sick of the Nolanverse. Also, the Nolanverse only really worked because it was Batman.
Yeah, it fits Batman.
But, like, doesn't fit Superman or most of the other characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, dark and gritty Batman was what people wanted for Batman. But you need Superman to contrast Batman. And that's where they went wrong.
Well,
and then they just doubled down on it with every other movie except Wonder Woman.
That's the other thing, though, is because they were able to do it with Wonder Woman and reverse the thing, that's the thing they need to do. They have to make sure that they know that Batman is the dark and gritty superhero. I think there's like one or two other ones that are like Batman in the DC universe.
But they didn't learn their lesson and did Justice League.
Yeah, Swamp Thing and Constantine are two of the other ones.
But Constantine is also funny.
Constantine is funny because he's got morbid sense of humor and is always fighting demons. It's great.
No matter what they do, though, they never seem to be able to make the Constantine franchise actually get off the ground. And that's sad.
The TV show was great, but
what the hell?
It belonged on like an HBO where they could have done things a little bit more, you know? Show off the fact that he's poly and fucks everything that moves and he's a raging alcoholic and chain smoker.
The Justice League Dark animated movie was awesome.
And the guy who plays him voiced him.
So I just don't understand how the hell they can't find the right, market for it.
They just have had trouble.
Yeah, it just has trouble finding an audience, but it's amazing.
Tangents! They're happening.
It wouldn't be a proper episode without at least one tangent.
I mean, since we're on tangents, quick note, because we had a lot of deaths recently. Another death, Marty Balin, the male vocalist portion of Jefferson Airplane died this week. He was 76 years old. They did not mention the cause of death, but he was 76, so literally at that point, anything, cancer, general age, heart attack, stroke, whatever. Once you're over 70, you don't, unless it's murder or suicide, you really don't need to explain that they're dead. It's like, they lived a long enough life. There you go.
Rude.
I mean, isn't it the truth?
I want to live beyond 70.
But once you get beyond 70, it's one of those things where a lot of things happen as your body ages that contributes to health problems, and just generally speaking, people can die at any point at that point.
So we're both hoping that Google makes do on their plan to cure aging.
I don't want to die. I want to live forever.
When you sound like that, everyone else wants you to die, though. That's the problem.
What about this?
That makes me want you to take a bath with a toaster.
Yes, and you can talk like that all the until it happens.
with the toaster in the bathwater, yes.
Yes.
Just remember to not plug it in.
What?
Ruins the toaster. Ruins the toaster.
I mean,
and
it's...
And the toast. It's all soggy.
Well, no, you make the toast, you take the toast out, you eat the toast, and then you put it in the bathwater. The toaster.
I thought you meant the toast.
No, you eat it. How do you put it in the bathwater when you've eaten it? You would then have to drink all the bathwater.
Oh, I know. We introduce that idea, but instead of a toaster, we use one of those Keurig coffee makers and tell people that's a new protest.
What?
You don't remember the alt-right smashing all of their Keurigs?
Yes, but we need something new that they're protesting against now. That
let's make them protest toasters.
We'll come back to this line of thinking later, maybe, Steve.
Maybe.
But I want it now.
Well, too bad.
And now you made me want toast.
It's working.
Just be careful, stay away from the bathwater.
But what if I want bath toast?
Well, then...
Then you just pour the bath salts on the toast, go crazy and eat people's faces off.
That sounds better than toast.
Now you've put him on people's faces. Damn it! Should let him have toast.
So, okay, what's our next entertainment news?
The next entertainment news is obviously.
I thought it was "We Are Awful People."
I mean,
People,
yes.
anyone who watches us knew this already.
Yeah, it's not. That's
not
not
news.
That's not news.
Dang.
I mean, it's news to those who are new, but not to us.
Yeah, it would be weird. Like, hey, I've got news for you. You're a terrible person.
It's like, no, I've known that for a long time. You're just discovering it now. No, the University of Minnesota has awarded the late rock star Prince, who is from Minneapolis, from our great state of Minnesota. He died in 2016, but he's getting a posthumous degree for his work in music and helping put the town on the map, which is great. You know, he's getting an honorary doctorate of human letters, and it was awarded to his sister, Tika Nelson, because his name was Prince Rogers Nelson.
That's
his
pretty
first name
awesome.
was really Prince anyway, so. That is
Until
pretty
he
awesome.
turned it into a symbol.
I don't even know why. I don't know what drugs he was on when he did that, but he was on something. Starfish and coffee, I'm sure.
Antimatter?
Probably. We'll
That's
get
how
to
he
the
died.
we'll get to the antimatter here in a bit, because we're gonna go a little long on entertainment since we have so little political news this week. It's all one it's one piece of news that's been going on all week, with various updates.
It reminds me of Shark Week in that way.
Somebody in the politics section of Friday Night Fanfiction said that they haven't had their head snapped so much from whiplash from reading the news since frickin' Mitt Romney ran for president. It's that bad. But the next bit of entertainment news. Lil Xan, rapper Lil Xan, says flaming hot Cheetos messed up his stomach so bad that he had to go to the hospital.
I'm wondering how many of them he ate.
Well, see, because people believed that he was sent to the hospital due to a drug overdose. And he was saying, yeah, I went to the hospital today, getting ready to pack for this tour. I just want to let everyone know that I was in the hospital not to do any drugs, but I guess I ate too many hot Cheetos and it ripped something in my stomach open a little and it puked a little blood. So we're good. So he's saying that, and this is, recently he also said something about how since Mac Miller died, he was going to be quitting music. He's basically saying that he ate so many spicy Cheetos that he gave himself a bleeding ulcer.
This suddenly I remember when Taco Bell introduced the Cheeto burrito.
Wait, what? The
Yeah,
Flaming
Taco
Hot
Bell
Cheeto
had a
burrito?
spicy Cheeto burrito.
Is that where the
No,
Cheetos came from?
Yeah, they had spicy hot Cheetos on a spicy burrito. Now, if you ate like 20 of those, I'm sure you'd be shitting fire.
Yeah, but he pukes up blood. I don't see how this is relevant.
I
Jeez,
don't know.
Steve.
I don't know. Maybe because you shit blood when you eat Taco Bell and...
That's pretty much what I was thinking about it. That's how my mind came to the conclusion. It doesn't have to make sense to anyone but me.
We don't have Taco Bell.
Then how do you get horrible flaming diarrhea?
Yeah, don't.
What kind of world do you live in where you're not able to just go to a place pretty much 24 hours a day and get flaming hot diarrhea?
And then where do you not go for medical attention when you can't afford it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm confused.
Thanks for bringing up that bit of my life, Steve. Please subscribe to me on Twitch or Patreon. I need money.
You're what, $7 away?
I'm $7 away from my first paycheck, I know.
And then you're going to get a green screen and a mic boom and do terrifying things with them.
I will terrify so many people. I will make commercials.
Oh god, and you could use that in the background for a Bowsette meme stream.
What?
Just a giant picture of Bowsette, you know, that one where she looks like she's gonna get you.
Oh
Put
god.
that in the background through your whole stream while you're showing
it'd have to be
meme.
like the one that's like still half turtle and like looks like Zarya from Overwatch. The big buff Bowsette. Big butch buff Bowsette. Gonna get me? Gonna break me?
Yeah, like that.
All right. Kind of entertainment news, because over here in America we have this thing called football, not soccer, not American football. American football, the hand egg.
What?
The hand
It's kind of like rugby, but different.
It's kind of like rugby but with pads and actual rules. Even though they're broken like 25% of the time anyway. But colleges in the United States are basically the developmental territory for the National Football League. They have this thing that you might have heard of called the Super Bowl every year. It's apparently like the most watched thing in the world every February, so you might have heard of it. I don't know. Completely.
I mean, is that February's fault or football's fault?
I don't know. Probably both.
I blame February.
But there's an article I found on CNN talking about how they've been upgrading the college football stadiums, because regular football stadiums cost a shit ton. Usually somewhere between like $500,000 and up to a fucking $1 million.
And if you live in Minnesota, you had to pay taxes for it.
$500 million to $1 billion. Sorry, and yeah, if you live in those states, you have to pay the taxes to build the fields and shit.
Yeah, paying, using public tax money for a privately owned football stadium for the NFL.
Because they're bringing in tax revenues through ticket sales and concessions, so something. I don't even know how they validated it, but it's a crock of bullshit. But Texas A&M University recently finished working on a not recently finished, but they've been, 2 or 3 years ago is recently, I guess, but they spent $500 million upgrading their stadium. And Notre Dame did the same thing for about $400 million. University of Kansas, the University of Minnesota built their new stadium in 2009 for $300 million, and that was actually where the Minnesota Vikings had to play for a good portion of the 2010 season because of heavy snowfall basically destroying their stadium.
And I'm to understand they're still having a shitty season.
I'm to understand they're still having a shitty season. They tied with, they were on top. They were tied for number one with their rivals, and then they tied with the rivals in game 2, and then game 3. I think both of the teams did terribly, and now they're behind teams that usually suck ass, like the fucking Lions. I don't know how it happened, but basically it's just kind of a think piece on why do they spend so much fucking money on these stadiums when they're supposed to be educational institutions?
Are they getting ready to convert to Blood Bowl?
Let's
I
hope.
wish.
Because honestly, for that much money, they probably should.
I mean, then I'd
Probably
come and
reduce
watch.
it. Probably reduce the population of the crazy rapist breeding stock that is involved in this. Wait, did I say that out loud?
Oh man, yeah, like
You
even
may
at
have.
even at the college we went to and we found out about somebody there.
Yeah, and that was a small town college. I know it's terrible. This is freaking frat party bullcrap. But we'll get to that in the politics section because that's, things that are going. Okay, so, Steve, flip a coin. Are we going to do the Elon Musk thing in entertainment, or are we going to do it in politics? Because if we do it in politics, then we can talk about the new stuff we've watched this week. Because
I'd rather talk about the new stuff. I still have plenty of articles, but I'm sure I'll go through them super fast. So
because it's 90% Kavanaugh.
Well, it's mostly just stuff where the headline tells you everything you need to know.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so new stuff that we're watching. How's about you start with what was the one that you watched? The Dragon Prince or something?
Oh yeah.
I haven't watched that one, but I've heard things
about
how the
it's
animation
really good.
style looks crap, but it's good.
It's got a weird animation style, kind of like Ruby. It does that weird half hand-drawn, half CGI animation, where some of the time it looks really good, and then some of the times it's just weird.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, I binged the entire thing in one night.
That's kind of what you do. Is you're a binge watcher. You're a binge watcher.
Okay, I'll admit, not everything I binge is quality. I'll probably watch all of Big Mouth on the 5th.
Even though it is a hot bag of assholes? And
who knows?
Super crazy uncomfortable to watch?
Maybe it'll have gotten better, but I doubt it.
You know what's sad? That series allegedly has a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
What? How?
That just tells you that you should never trust Rotten Tomatoes with anything.
But yeah, the Dragon Prince is awesome. It's the guys who did Avatar, and
The Last
they
Airbender.
they just did a full-on fantasy series
instead of a somewhat fantasy series.
So
Fantasy
yeah,
a fantasy / Shonen Jump type series.
So yeah, the backstory is that all of the fantasy races got along just fine, and they all had access to magic until humans got access to dark magic. Then the elves said, enough of that shit, and forced them to the west. And they had this giant dragon that was called the Dragon King, who protected the border, until humans killed him with dark magic.
Oh, wow.
So now it's a giant war between the elves and the humans.
And then what?
Well, eventually, after... the show says that they, destroyed his egg, too, but one of the first few episodes, you find out that was a lie. They actually stole the egg. So the main characters go on a quest to bring the egg back to the elves.
Ah.
Yeah.
But I mean, what good's the egg?
To hatch it, and the Dragon Prince will become the new Dragon King and protect the border?
Well, yeah, but the last king died too. That seems like a stupid plan.
Well, I mean...
Best laid plans of
it's the plan they got!
Yeah, I mean, if they don't have a better plan, but it seems kind of like, let's do the thing we did before that failed.
They're planning to try to bring it back to ease all of the political tension between the races. Saying, hey, he didn't die. We can all try to get peace, because at least some of the atrocities from the war are reversible. So it's got that kind of undertone about it, about trying to make peace. All the older generations still want to go to war because they remember the atrocities of everything that happened, but the younger generations want peace. That's kind of the theme.
So, you recommend it?
Oh yeah,
All right. Have you watched any of Hilda yet, or are you
like
about the same place as
5
me?
minutes, and then I had to go to sleep.
Yeah, I've watched the first 3 episodes, I think. Yeah, 3 episodes. It's kind of like Gravity Falls, as far as like the fact that it's humans interacting with monsters, but it's like you know how at the end of Gravity Falls they kind of acknowledge that the monsters and stuff live there now, and they just kind of deal with it. It's like post Gravity Falls.
It kind of what little I saw reminded me of like a cross between Gravity Falls and,
like
Steven
Madeline?
Universe.
And Madeline.
Yeah,
and
it reminded me of Madeline a lot too.
Yeah, it's like it's a very heartwarming, cute series on Netflix about this girl who makes friends with all these, monsters and fantasy creatures. She has this weird deer fox pet, and she makes friends with like giants and rock monsters and elves. Apparently, you have to sign a lot of paperwork to be able to see elves, and they're tiny as fuck. Which is hilarious. So yeah, that's that. And then I've only watched like 3 or so episodes of it, but I'm planning to finish it. It's really good. It's definitely something to watch with the family.
And then we also plan to talk about something that's less to watch with the family.
Oh yeah. South Park came back this week. And God, was that episode good. It's probably the best episode since the Put It Down from last year.
Yeah, I loved it. Every second of it.
They opened the episode with a school shooting happening at the South Park Middle School. And the kids are like going about their day like normal. They're still in class. They're still answering questions the teacher's teaching. But in burst these SWAT people while bullet fire is heard in the background, and they're just being like they're doing fractions. It's like what's 3/4 plus 3/4 or whatever, and it's like they're doing their class lesson, and the dude Paul like does his tuck and roll in. It's like, this area is secure, we're gonna go find the active shooter, blah 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 blah, and then they shoot the shooter, take him out in a freaking body bag, and there's a bunch of news reporters who are doing the usual, oh, it's such a tragedy, blah 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 blah. These kids are all shaken up, and then the kids are like basically talking about their class and everything else that was going on, and ignoring that there was a shooting going on. And then Stan's mom finds out about it and freaks the fuck out.
And she's literally the only one.
She's literally the only person who's freaking out about school shootings being a common thing. Because there's like, 4 or 5 shootings that happened in South Park Middle School, but before the end of the episode, or is there like a couple?
There was a bunch.
Yeah, there was a bunch, and there was a couple that happened in like the nearby town, and Stan was trying to basically make it seem like it was his wife's period and or menopause that's causing her to freak out about this. And then,
Randy was the best thing about the episode.
Randy was basically all of the right-wing Republicans saying, there's nothing wrong with our guns. We don't need to do nothing about no school shooting. It's a tragedy, but thoughts and prayers.
And him pantomiming the whole period thing. Like, red cloth at the therapist's office.
Red crotch cloth? What?
Yeah, that was great.
Red crotch cloth is gone? Old woman, red crotch cloth? What?
That was just great. And then Butters with an assault rifle as the hall monitor.
Oh, yeah. Because that was their nod to the arming teachers thing. And yes, my wife, as a teacher, found it both funny and scary, and poked holes in their lockdown procedure because they had none. The least that they should have done when that school shooting happened was close shut and lock that door. But instead, it's wide open. You got SWAT people coming in and out and whatever. It was chaos. But that was South Park.
And then the whole B plot with Cartman and Black Panther.
Oh yeah, Cartman was trying to discern whether or not Token had watched and or liked Black Panther. Because he did not like Black Panther.
That was great. And then the ending.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
where
Stan got shot. No one cared.
Nobody gave a fuck. That's like, is he gonna be okay? Yeah, he's gonna be okay. Okay. It's just normal to have your kid shot at school now, I guess.
The weird part is so far I haven't heard any backlash for the episode yet.
I was expecting a lot after I watched it, but nothing.
I haven't heard anything about it.
See, and that's the thing, is the entire episode was talking about how normalized school shootings have become over the last couple of years. In this great American country of the United States, where school shootings happen all the time and can't be prevented, apparently. Thank you, Onion, for reposting that every time one happens. How many times have they had to do that this year? 3 or 4, at least?
Yeah, several.
And you're just sitting there in a corner just taking notes, aren't you, Kutsu? Just being like, God damn it. These Americans and their guns. It's crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
Like, when's the last time that you guys had anything even remotely like a school shooting or like mass murder with a gun in your country?
I wouldn't remember.
And why would that be, Kutsu? Is that because you have, laws that were enacted so that people can't just go to a gun store and walk out with a gun and ammo when they're pissed off and, ready to shoot somebody?
What's a gun store?
Wait, you don't have stores where you can just walk in, buy a gun, and leave?
No, actually, no, we don't.
There's another solution. Just get rid of gun stores. Make it
Yes, get rid of stores.
Get rid of stores that hold guns and only guns.
No. You can't make it about guns. You have to get rid of all stores.
Everything.
That's the only way you can get anyone to agree on anything. It's like you can't make it about the guns. You can't ban the guns. Don't you understand anything about your own politics, man?
I do. I'm just pointing out that that's how you guys did it, and apparently it works.
Yeah, I mean there are some gun shop things, but they're not.
It's not the
like
liquor store, gun store, liquor store, gun store
no,
like we have in our major cities.
No.
I think there's actually a block in Fargo that is that exact description, and Fargo's not even a big city. Its population is like 100,000 people. That's not big. It's not a metropolis. Not yet.
That's decent.
Yeah, it's decent, but it's not like, oh my god, it's a big city. It's got gangs and the mafia and shit. It's like, no. Fuck no. It's got a small drug problem and a bunch of wannabes.
Yeah. Well.
I've lived in Minneapolis. I know the difference.
Though very recently there was actual shooting nearby here, which was odd.
Yeah,
because the police was apparently trying to, they did get some terrorists, like they caught them.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was concerned for you, Kutsu.
It was really close to me. It was weird.
I know, usually those things are like, what? At least the next city over?
Well, or, not in Europe. Well, no, that's not true. Of course, it's happened in Europe, but...
Yeah, in Europe, they actually catch the people. In the U.S., they just kind of don't give two fucks. If you have even an ounce of drugs, they will go after you. But if you're planning a terrorist attack, they usually don't catch you until you're about to do it. And then
or after
they
you
don't
do
even
it.
talk. Or after you do it,
Usually that one.
Usually that one.
You were under the impression the cops wouldn't come after you here if you had drugs?
I mean, they probably wouldn't come after me near as hard as they would over here.
I mean, if you've got weed, they're gonna come after you because they want some too.
Well, it's legal over there, isn't it?
Not technically legal, no.
But it's decriminalized to the point where cops literally are just like, can you share? As opposed to, ounce of pot, you're going to prison for life.
Exactly, no, that doesn't happen.
They're not planting the drugs on you. How did this get into a drug talk? I don't know.
That would be awesome, actually. It's like, hey, want to have some drugs? Like, yeah, you can't catch me for that, can you? No, I'm just giving you drugs. Okay, cool.
No, they planted on you so that they can put you in prison for a long time.
Well, yeah, over there. I wouldn't take drugs from anyone in the United States. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But if the cops did that here, everyone would be like, yeah, cool. You're okay, cool. Cops.
Thank you for not harshing my mellow.
That is exactly what we say.
You know, I belong over there, but I don't have the money to move.
You belong over here.
Yeah, pretty much everyone in this country who isn't a Republican wants to move to Europe.
Yeah. We really could use your healthcare. I really could use your healthcare right now.
Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, sure.
I've probably got another 1 or 2 vestigial organs that are going to fail and need to be removed in the next 5 years. That will try and put me into bankruptcy. That will try and put me in bankruptcy because it costs literally as much money as I make in a year to have that done. And insurance does not cover shit.
Yeah, that's a stupid system.
It's really sad when one of my friends in the UK is like, you could spend that money and move over here and live here and get our health care for less than it's going to cost you to pay for what you had done. It's like, I know. It's sad, isn't it?
A lot of illegal immigrants are actually moving back to Mexico because they have better health care.
That's why a lot of people are going to Mexico to have their plastic surgeries done, Steve. And people have been, smuggling prescriptions from Mexico and Canada for the last decade because it's cheaper by a lot. But yeah. Anyway, the other show that we watched, literally an hour ago now?
Oh yeah.
The Good Place.
Wait, we're talking about shows? What?
Well, we got on the tangent because we were talking about the guns from South Park.
All right. And then you got a Dutch guy on your podcast thing.
I thought it was Holland. I thought you weren't Dutch.
Oh, we just have a lot to say about America.
Wait, what do you mean? You thought it was Holland, not Dutch? What?
The name is confusing.
Did I mention that our education is also not the best in the world?
No, but now you have.
Now you have. Oh, good. Another 10 minutes. We can talk about how crappy.
Well, I kind of hinted at that with that. Our universities are putting more money into sports stadiums than their actual programs.
Yeah. That is weird.
The Good Place. We just watched that not that long ago, didn't we, Steve?
Yep, an hour ago.
On this wonderful thing called Rabbit. It's a website, rab.it, and you can log into your Netflix or Hulu or whatever and have people in a private watching room with voice chat or text chat and watch the same thing at the same time and talk about it while you're watching it together.
The Good Place is just great.
I turned Steve onto that one of the times I was sick.
So what is this, the second season? Third season?
Third season just started, yeah.
Third.
And I turned him onto it. He binged the whole damn show in a day?
Yeah.
But I used some of my time being sick to binge season 2 on Netflix because it recently dropped on Netflix because it's coming out, or season 3 just started. So that's the way Netflix usually works with TV is if it's not a Netflix show, it usually either comes out right before the next season.
And now I want a hazelnut antimatter.
Oh, I know, right? I want antimatter too, especially if it will make me awake. But, like, The Good Place, if you don't know about it, it's a show that is No Exit by Jean Paul Sartre, the TV show. It's 4 people who die and go to the afterlife, and then they interact with each other in close proximity. And it's not going to spoil too much, because it's a big point of contention. The end of the season 1 and the whole of season 2 is all a spoiler, but if you know anything about No Exit, you already know the spoiler. So they're in this afterlife place, and then they do this thing with this judge to, get out of or get a better place in the afterlife. And so now they're back in the real world to prove that without knowledge of any potential reward, because their memories have been wiped, of them doing better and having better place after they've done this, they're now being manipulated slightly into improving their own lives after being given a second chance. And it's fucking hilarious, because the one dude who was in charge of their afterlife place, Michael, played by Ted Danson, keeps running back to the human world, and because he's not from there, is completely and utterly thrilled by everything of humanity. It's great. It's fun and funny, and my brother is cheaty because he can't decide on a damn thing.
He really is.
And the main character is played by, I think, Kristen Bell, and she is, in her words, Arizona trash. And if you watch the show, you'll understand and you'll know, and she's amazing. She's great. She's hilarious. The whole show is pretty hilarious. Have a cactus and an antimatter, and watch seasons 1 through 3. Seasons 1 and 2 are on Netflix, and season 3 is going to be on Hulu or NBC if you have it. So, yeah, it was really good. We were laughing pretty.
Have you noticed that I've been putting a cactus on all of your posts in Discord for a week now?
You have gotten very obsessed with the cactus, Steve.
Just every post you make in Discord, I've put a cactus on. I wasn't sure how much you noticed it.
I noticed, I just didn't call attention to it because I knew that you'd probably mention it here, and now you've mentioned it here. Because have a cactus.
Please notice me, cacti.
I mean, there's a robot butler-ish thing called Janet in The Good Place, and she's awesome, and she has a crush on one of the humans, and in one episode, to make someone feel better, because caring for plants makes people feel better, she gave a cactus.
And then she malfunctioned, and every time they asked her for anything, she'd give them a cactus instead.
Here, have a cactus. I wanted milk, have a cactus.
So now I've been just putting a cactus on everything. Just to troll Disdonn.
Because his life is trolling me, obviously. But next week we're gonna probably be talking about more The Good Place, South Park, other shows we're watching. I know I'm gonna try and get through Hilda, maybe, and I'm most definitely going to want to watch The Goldbergs at some point. That's another pretty good show. And I have to get caught up on My Hero Academia, because now that is over. Season 3 is over.
Yeah, Season 3 finally ended. I am just waiting until someone uploads the movie online. I really want to see it.
Too. The movie just came out.
I know, a few days ago, so it hasn't been put online yet. But a lot of sites have already put up the link, where it's gonna go.
Oh, yeah. But that's entertainment news. lots of good shows are coming out. More good shows are coming out later this month. We've already talked about how we're excited for Sabrina coming out.
That's dropping the same day as Castlevania, too.
So we're probably not going to watch all of Sabrina, obviously, because binge watching 2 whole shows, especially when one is going to be an hour long, is going to be hard. But we're probably going to watch all of Castlevania and then watch at least an episode or 2 of Sabrina.
The Teenage Witch?
Yeah, they're doing a Netflix series in the same universe as Riverdale. It's going to be actually fucking scary. It's going to kind of be like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Supernatural.
Since when is Sabrina the Teenage Witch scary? What?
Because they did Riverdale.
Yeah,
I guess I'm out of the loop there.
Riverdale is a live-action CW version of the old Archie comics, where they made it like a Dawson's Creek type teen drama.
But it's pretty, adult. It's
aimed at adults. So now they're rebooting Sabrina with the same type of thing.
Yeah, season 1 of Riverdale has a Twin Peaks-esque murder mystery to it, so it's pretty good. And Sabrina and the Archie one is based off of the rebooted Archie comics. They also have a rebooted Sabrina. That is why they're doing the darker Sabrina, because they had Afterlife with Archie was where they introduced the darker Sabrina. And then they had the spin-off with Sabrina, which was like actual witchcraft was involved, demons and shit. So it's going to be fucking great. And it's coming out for Halloween.
Nice. I mean, all I know is I want that cat again. What was it, Salem?
Salem will probably be in it, but Salem will probably not be as snarky. Or if Salem's as snarky, it's going to be like a dark, morbid sense of snarky.
That's what I'm hoping for.
That's fine.
Like, oh, nothing to see here. Everybody's dead. Their eyes are bleeding. Just terrifying, horrible stuff. But that's entertainment, so I'm going to say, if you liked our podcast and you have nothing to do with politics, you don't want anything to do with politics, that's okay. You can decide to stop listening now. We'll see you next week or next time we come on, and you can come back for the first half, 2/3, 3/4 of the podcast and listen to that. That's okay. This week's going to be very politics light. If you want to stick around, but, just saying spoiler wall, actual real hard political bullshit is coming up. And that's, outside of the diatribes that we did about, guns and healthcare. So,
and drugs.
It was needed.
It was somewhat pertinent. So, number 1, the SEC sued Elon Musk for his tweets about going private, and then Elon Musk stepped down as CEO and paid a fine to alleviate that. So, basically, Elon Musk done fucked himself.
A little bit. It's kind of surprising they did anything. I mean, they had to, but still, it's Elon Musk. You expect him to own, people.
You just kind of expect any rich person in this country to get away with anything they do. It was a big surprise when they actually got Martha Stewart for insider trading.
I know, right? I'm surprised that they didn't pull something similar for Musk, because technically what he did was inevitably going to make his stock plummet, and then anyone who knew about his
they're arguing that it's technically fraud.
I mean, yeah, it's technically fraud.
In other stock-related news, my stocks are doing well.
Same here, because we invested in marijuana.
And Jesus Christ, it's already up to like $6.88.
Where was
sold
it when you
all
bought
my
it?
stuff.
Like 2 something?
I sold 50 shares of IGC at $7. Then it dipped down to 5, so I bought 25 more shares, and it's up to $6.88.
Yeah. Because they're about to legalize weed in all of Canada, so a lot of these pot companies that are on the stock market, like Aurora Cannabis and IGC and stuff, are going ridiculously high in preparation for that.
Last week Aurora went up because it was rumored that they were going to make a deal with Coke. But now IGC has decided it's getting into the cannabinoid drink market.
Aren't they working with like Bud?
I don't know who they're working with, but...
Or is it Miller?
They just decided they're going into that market, so... Boom. It's already going up.
Do you want to get high? Do you want to also get drunk? How's about pot-infused alcohol?
I think it's the non-high parts, but... Once it's fully legal, I think they'll do both. One is like a health drink, and one is like a... You can get really drunk and high on one drink.
That's a new form of edible.
I want hemp beer.
Oh, God. Hemp and hops. That sounds great.
That does.
Anyway, other news. California high school had students spell out the N-word in the senior picture.
Oh, yeah, that one. Why did they do that?
Don't know. It happened in California at Escondido High School in Escondido, California.
Wait, I thought I read that while they were making pictures, like they were done taking pictures and then the students themselves did this?
Something. But yeah,
they had letters on their t-shirts.
Right.
They aligned themselves to spell out the N-word.
Yeah. But I mean, they did that after they did, the spelling out of whatever the school wanted them to spell out and took pictures of that first, right? And then afterwards they were like, you know what's funny? The N-word.
Well, what really confuses me is that this happened in California and not Texas or Alabama.
Yeah, especially considering that it's in an area of California that is fairly heavy with African American population and Latino population. So that's really racist to be doing when you've got actual people who are going to be offended and probably beat your ass.
Looking at this picture, isn't one of these people black?
Possibly.
Yeah, third one from the right. What the hell?
I know, right?
They must have thought it was funny somehow.
Dumb high school students.
Basically.
Very dumb high school. Anyway, that was a thing. Two hilarious bits of Trump news this week. You want to do the Trump baby balloon update? Where was it spotted, Steve?
Oh god, I don't have that article open.
You just need to look up in your links chat, and it literally says where it was. Scroll.
Up his ass?
Scroll. Up his ass would be a great place to put a Trump blimp. Then he'd be a blimp. And maybe
I'm already a blimp.
I'm talking about Trump.
Oh, here it is. Flying through Chicago. God, I would love if this ended up in the Macy's Day Parade.
That would be hilarious.
That would make my year.
And then you will probably know a little bit more about this. UN audience laughs at Trump during his speech where he was boasting of his achievements at the UN this week.
I was supposed to know about this?
That was hilarious.
I mean, you're part of the world stage, so, I mean, your leader laughed at my leader, and it was pretty fucking hilarious.
I'm not actually sure who was there from the Netherlands. Probably like the Foreign Affairs dude.
Yeah, he claimed that in 2 years his administration has accomplished more than any other administration in the history of the U.S.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, he said like almost or something, but yeah, either way. He was trying to boast, and people were like, yeah, we know what's up, dude.
The only thing he's done is tax cuts that have fucked our economy, and they're gonna do them again.
Well, yeah, he can still get richer. I mean, you can always get richer.
Other political-ish news, Facebook.
Oh shit,
again.
Yeah, one I didn't put in here. About those tax cuts. House passes $3.8 trillion in tax cuts.
Oh yeah, but that's not going to pass the Senate because right now they're too close and they don't want to completely fuck us before the midterms because they know that if this passes, they're going to, really get boned. But one part of that will probably pass, and that is some of the tax burden on your retirement income for if you're 70 plus.
But that's the thing. That's why the Republicans will try to force it right now.
Well, they're not going to force
because
all
they
of
have
it.
the majority to do it.
They don't.
So
they don't because they are too afraid to lose their seats. They're going to pass the one part. They're going to rewrite it and pass the one part that they can get away with as part of their plan for whatever budget or whatever they're trying to work on right now. But other than that, it ain't going nowhere. Hopefully.
Well, unless their plan is to cash out, which this is in the trillions.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
Because they probably know they're not getting reelected. So
they can solve the student debt crisis, among a lot of other things. And it doesn't matter if they get reelected. They're getting their paycheck for life.
That's why I'm saying they're going to try to force it. They've got the numbers and they're cashing out.
It's terrible. Facebook was hacked for money. Basically, it looks like it was almost exclusively, for information about other website logins and bank account information. So basically, people who put their bank account information onto Facebook to buy stuff in Facebook games got hacked.
Yeah, some people I watch on YouTube were saying this is actually worse than the Cambridge Analytica thing because they actually got passwords and not just databases.
They got passwords and stuff, and people had to, redo passwords and probably get new credit cards or bank account login shit. And
this is the third time now that Facebook has been in hot water because of their crack security.
For the last year, yeah, I know.
Yeah, the Russian bot farms, Cambridge Analytica, hacked a month ago, and now they're hacked again.
Something that is, read the title and you can, know what it's talking about. Trump administration uses horrifying climate forecast to defend its fuel policy. The drill baby drill and let's get all the fucking coal we can. Because the forecast for if we continue on our path, we will have Florida will be flooded and we won't have most of our East Coast anymore because it'll all be underwater. Trump's like, this is all going to happen, so let's just keep doing what we're doing.
And just 7 degrees, that's not bad.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that'll melt the polar ice caps and flood a lot.
Other Trump news that's basically, everything that needs to be said is in the title. There's a lawsuit alleging that Trump's private business is violating the Constitution. The annulments clause, which we've already talked about, I think, is going to be proceeding because of a federal judge ruling. And that has to do with him hosting foreign embassy events using his Trump hotel in D.C.
Was this that one filed by the state that we talked about earlier?
It was filed by 200 congressional Democrats back during the summer. And a federal judge has given the go-ahead.
Oh god, did you hear that other news that came out about how he didn't want to have a transition team, but then found out he had to? And yelled at all of his aides for stealing his money because they told him that no, he has to spend the money on a transition team.
No, but that definitely says what kind of a person he is.
An idiot?
A rich idiot who wants to hoard his money like he's a fucking dragon?
Alright, here's one I like. Ted Cruz forced from restaurant amid Kavanaugh drama. Bunch of people told him to go away and heckled him before he even got to sit down. Similar to the Sarah Huckabee Sanders thing earlier this year.
Since we're now sort of on the topic of Kavanaugh, What a week. Last weekend, I think it came out that there was a sexual assault allegation. There was a hearing with the sexual assault allegation and him, and
we are now currently up to 4 different people claiming.
4 different people. The Bar Association is calling for an investigation. They're actually finally doing an FBI investigation. Trump and his people are, on one hand, saying, "Oh, the FBI has all the leeway they want to do what they want with this investigation. It's a thorough investigation." And then
they're trying to limit the scope of it.
Yeah, it's like they're saying one thing, doing another. It's definitely going to fuel more
because they know that Trump supporters aren't going to pay any attention to it, what he actually does, just what he tweets and what he says on Fox News.
Yeah, but yeah. Basically, Kavanaugh went apeshit over the allegations, was outright lying to the Senate again about him never being a drunk, never drinking, and all as much as he did. Never
let's talk about rapes. The perjury, too. Remember the stuff they found in his yearbook? Yep. They asked him, what's a devil's triangle? And he said it's a drinking game.
Yeah, they found that one of his grandfather or something was in Yale, so he was a legacy, and that
even though he claimed he had no connection to Yale.
His speech about the sexual assault allegations was that he worked his tail off to get into Yale, that it had nothing to do with who he knew or his family or anything. It was all him. Lies.
My favorite part, though, is the Devil's Triangle thing.
Yeah, it's...
Who the fuck doesn't know what a Devil's Triangle is?
Me?
I've forgotten.
You seriously don't? It's a threesome with 2 guys.
Okay.
And Kavanaugh claimed that it was a drinking game.
Oh, yeah, because...
it may have started that way.
The thing that his accuser that was on the stand, Dr. Ford, because yes, she's a doctor, she got a doctorate. What she said was that freaking Kavanaugh and one of his buddies, this Mike whatever that they're trying to subpoena for the FBI investigation, that they got her drunk and were trying to sexually assault her, trying to strip her down and fuck her. And he's saying that never happened. So, I know it's a he said, she said because it happened so long ago, but the he said, she said thing was able to get Cosby put away for fucking what, 3 to 10 years?
Yeah, and chances are they're not even going to do anything with the other 3 people before they stick him straight in the Supreme Court for life.
Because the Republicans are that desperate to save Trump.
Yeah, they're still pretty much voting along party lines.
There's only one person who's planned to vote against them right now, but even if he does, then Pence can come in and swing and do his vice presidential voting power to break ties.
Weren't Collins and Murkowski or whatever also a problem?
Nope, they're still going to be voting yes. They were thinking about voting no, but they have rescinded that because of party politics and bullshit.
And this decision is going to cost most of them their jobs.
Yeah, and they'll be able to, because of this perjury, probably impeach an actual Supreme Court justice. So he's probably not going to be on for very long if certain things happen during the election.
Because I think we're still in agreement that after November, it's likely the Democrats are going to take the House and Senate back, and then are going to pretty quickly boot Kavanaugh out.
And try and impeach Trump for obstruction of justice.
The weird thing is, still no Mueller stuff.
There's a reason why he's gone silent, Steve.
That's what I've been saying. we're gonna have an October surprise, I think.
The reason why he's gone silent is obviously because Trump's been tweeting so fervently. You posted a thing for us to talk about last week, where it was talking about the Russia investigation and the Russian hacking and everything. And Trump has been tweeting almost daily for the last 2 to 3 months about the frickin' investigation.
Several times a day in a lot of the cases.
Yeah, and no collusion. He's been talking about it he talked about it in his interview earlier this week, which he gave, which was almost exclusively about Kavanaugh, where he said something about how if he brought George Washington up as a Supreme Court pick, the Democrats would vote him down because he picked him. And then he went on a diatribe saying that Washington has dirt in his past about sexual assault or something.
What?
And it literally was like watching a madman give a rant.
Yeah, Washington liked to do a lot of sick, twisted things with those false teeth.
God damn it.
The thing with Washington was that he, freed his slaves before he died. It was Jefferson that's the one that was, fucking the slaves and doing the shit.
And
we
Trump
have proof
doesn't
on that.
even... Yeah, Trump can't even get his...
Facts straight.
Founding presidents straight. Like, any of the big ones.
George Washington, that guy on the $2 bill that fucked his slaves.
Oh, I think he'd know the ones on the money.
I'm sorry, Steve.
For the most part.
He doesn't have bills smaller than $100. So
you're right.
He thinks that Benjamin Franklin is a president.
That's why he doesn't know anything about Washington and Jefferson. It all makes sense now.
On occasion, he might have a 50. Or, God forbid, a 20.
But I mean, that's poop wiping money.
Isn't all money poop wiping money to him?
I don't know. Maybe.
But yeah, the Kavanaugh thing has been...
Let's see, more on the Kavanaugh thing. American Bar Association delay Kavanaugh until FBI. It says they're gonna delay it, but...
The current plan is they're delaying it until the FBI investigation is done, but they've set a preliminary date of them being done with the investigation by next Friday, because next Saturday they want to vote. They wanted to vote this Saturday, yesterday, but because of the shitty-ass hearing, now they're delaying it a week, which means that Kavanaugh will probably not even be able to get in until November now. They were trying to push him through by October so that he could make certain rulings before the midterms, but now he's been delayed, and hopefully they can keep delaying him, because good God.
And yeah, him flipping out and screaming.
He screamed during I need to watch Saturday Night Live because they lampooned that during their cold open. Matt Damon.
Oh God, I need to see that now.
That was shit. Ugh. God, yeah, so much stuff happened with Kavanaugh this week that doesn't even matter anymore, because there was a lot of hearsay until after the Thursday, the hearing on Thursday, where it was Ford and Kavanaugh both gave their speeches and answered questions, and Ford answered every question, and Kavanaugh lied and screamed and cried and bitched and pissed and moaned.
And we covered the announcing a lawsuit against McConnell and Trump to halt the nomination.
No. What was that one again?
I will just repost it quick.
Because, I mean, there's like so many... Okay.
Yeah, Senator Merkley announces lawsuit against McConnell and Trump to halt Kavanaugh nomination. The events of the past 10 days... okay. As you were saying?
Funny thing is that there was like, what, four Republican governors that came out and said that they want them to delay until after there was a FBI investigation. Republican governors running for re-election, mind you. So
I know your bro was saying that he called his governor.
which is, I think his senator is, good God, not Ted Cruz, the other fucking Tea Party teabagging motherfucker. The one who started the whole goddamn thing, who's retiring in November and not running for re-election. He ran against Trump. The other guy who ran against Trump from Wisconsin. Fuck! Can't remember the name.
Yeah, I can't either right now.
I only know Rubio, but he's not the guy you're talking about.
No, it's, what's his name? Fuck! I'm gonna look it up. Alright, continue, Steve. I'm gonna look this up.
It's Jeb Bush all along.
But yeah, it sounds like Senator Merkley is actually doing a lawsuit over this because they're trying to push him through.
Okay, no, I'm thinking of the guy who was the Speaker of the House. Never mind. He was in Congress and he's not in Senate. Okay. Anyway, yeah, Jeb Bush. What? Man, we would have been better off with Jeb. We really would have been.
Yeah, he would have been a do-nothing president, which is better than what we have now.
His wife is Hispanic, so he would have probably rolled back a couple of the frickin' immigration policies we already had before Trump.
Oh, and then there was that stuff last night, Trump saying that he's in love with Kim Jong-un.
Oh, God.
Once again,
I think it was the other way around.
Once again, he's singing the praises of a dictator.
Bromance, nothing really gay about it. No, my dance, but it ain't no problem with being gay for Kim Jong-un.
But yeah, there's a definite trend here. It's like he hates Justin Trudeau and
loves Putin and Kim Jong-un.
Can't stand Merkel. But yeah, every dictator he comes across absolutely adores him, to the point that he wanted a military parade, just like North Korea, which got canceled.
The problem with all these other countries is that they don't respect America, but the ones that do, their presidents don't have elections. You know, as you do.
Well, the last article I have up here is good news. We're actually ending on good news for once.
Wait, we haven't done the Deadpool.
Warren says she will continue...
Steve, we missed a thing. Deadpool.
What did we miss?
The Deadpool.
The Deadpool.
Nobody got fired from the Department of Justice, so nobody wins this week. We have we're still talking. We're gonna have to put up a thing on the website about our Deadpool and how the points work. But basically, 50 points for small fries. If the DOJ got completely shit canned like we thought was gonna happen, that would have been like 1 point per person. Big fish like Trump, but like Trump's Vice President Pence, Jeff Sessions, Rosenstein, they get 100 points. If Trump gets impeached, it's 1,000. So that's kind of like our point system here on the Deadpool.
And America wins.
And America wins too. So right now nobody's won. Our picks. Are we gonna roll over or are we gonna pick new people? Because
I'm going with Sessions still. Trump is still super pissed off at Sessions.
You're hedging your bets for that easy 100 points sometime between now and the end of the election, right?
Well, I'm thinking he's going to be getting rid of Sessions by, the end of November.
He hasn't fired Kelly yet, has he?
No.
Kelly hasn't resigned. We almost had Rosenstein resign, so I'm going to go with Rosenstein, the deputy AG, the guy who's in charge of the Mueller investigation. And I say this because Trump is hard up right now to get something done to stop him from getting in trouble. And he's trying so hard to get Kavanaugh in, but Kavanaugh's probably looking more and more like he's not going to, especially if the FBI does find other wrongdoings, and it's going to be easy because they're.
And he said he doesn't have a second pick picked out yet if this Kavanaugh thing doesn't go through.
So his next best bet is to fire the guy who's in charge of the investigation, which would put the third in charge at the DOJ, who's a diehard Trump supporter into the position of taking over the Mueller investigations, ability to do things, so he will basically make Mueller unable to do anything. But Mueller's already got enough evidence to fucking fry Trump.
So you're saying Rosenstein?
Rosenstein is my pick. Last week I only picked the entire DOJ because he literally said he was ready to purge the DOJ of all corrupt people. So he made a tweet that made it seem like he was going to fire a lot of people all at once.
Well,
but it didn't happen, so now I'm just going to
have after the midterms, he knows he's screwed, so I guarantee you Sessions is gone by the end of November.
Sessions is probably going to be gone, but first it's going to be Rosenstein, because Rosenstein's in charge of the investigation. So, we're picking 2 people from the DOJ. Did you have anything to say about that, Kutsu? As a foreign person, seeing how many times Trump has fired people, do you have any inkling of who may be next on the chopping block?
Yeah, he seems to be, seems to be time for a firing. He's been lying low. It's odd.
Yeah, he hasn't really fired anyone in a while.
I mean, honestly, my money would be on him not firing anyone for a week. For another week, I guess.
We only started the Deadpool because of how many times he was firing people when we started the podcast.
Yeah, I think he's like, wait a minute, people are getting points for this?
We can't actually paying attention? Good God. So,
I think the only reason he's not firing people is because they won't let him fire Sessions. So when they told him, if you do that, you're royally screwed, he probably thought, wait a minute, I'm probably screwed if I fire anybody at this point. So he rolled it back.
But he's getting itchy trigger fingers, I'll tell you that. He's getting
itchy.
Yeah,
with his tweets, you can tell. He wants everybody gone.
He wants to be the only person in the executive branch and the Department of Justice and the FBI and the CIA. He wants to be the only person.
No, but listen. With all the other people he got rid of, like Tillerson and everything, he was always like, no, he's doing a great job. He's not going anywhere. And then he fires them. So as long as he's saying, I want to fire them, they're not going anywhere. That's Trump logic.
It's quite possible that you are right. And because of that logic, if you are correct in this next week, if no one gets fired by next week, you will earn 50 honorary points. Which means that you will be on top of the leaderboards for our Deadpool. Which is, not saying much because we had the last couple of guests had no points, so.
Neither do we. None of us have gotten any points yet.
You'd be the first correct answer.
Firing people.
Yeah, as soon as we started the game, he quits firing people every week. I was disappointed.
So am I.
His weekly firing was like the highlight of my week.
But that's all of the political news. Now that the Elizabeth Warren is basically declared that she's running for 2020. She said after November 6th, she will take a hard look at running for president, which is basically what Hillary and Bernie said.
Yeah, this is political talk for it's a sure deal.
This is political talk for I'm putting my hat in the ring.
And I'm pretty sure Bernie is already planning on running for 2020. So it's going to be
dumb.
Warren versus Sanders versus Kamala Harris and Kennedy.
The good Kennedy, the not Republican Kennedy. And
that's confusing.
Well, yeah, because I think that he's not actually related to the Kennedys. He's just got the same last name.
So this one is actually a distant relative to JFK.
He's like RFK's grandson.
Yeah.
He's like Robert Kennedy III or something.
But he is a typical Democrat name only, like center-right figure. And
I mean, he's a little bit more left than Clinton was, but yeah.
And Harris, same deal. She's kind of the Democratic Party's darling right now because she's pure identity politics with the not going to change a damn thing mindset.
She's at least a step up from Trump. admit it. Everybody who they're putting forward is going to be a step up from Trump by a long shot.
I mean,
'Cause
yeah,
they will
not
go in-
Clinton and she's not Trump, so...
They will go in with the pure intent of rolling back everything Trump has done, first and foremost, back to the status quo of Obama, and that will be progress, considering how far we have fallen. But that's pretty much all that we have time for this week. We didn't have a lot on politics this week. We did half an hour?
And like you said, it was mostly Kavanaugh.
No shit. Literally everything doesn't happen this week in politics because of Kavanaugh. It's all on him because, man, apparently, even if he didn't fuck any of them, he's been accused about fucking people without their consent.
And now, since they only postponed it another week, it's probably going to be another entire week just about Kavanaugh news.
And possibly one other thing, because we touched on Trump going mad in an interview and being laughed at. I mean, that's literally it. It's a light week, which is great. I'm glad.
I mean, if he's going to do more talking at the UN, then maybe. That'll be news, but
maybe the leader of your country will throw a tomato at him.
We can only hope.
yeah, I'm still wondering who's there. Maybe the king's there for some reason. Who knows?
I don't know.
How does your political system work?
Okay. It just does.
It does, which is more than we can say for ours.
I guess I don't know enough about Denmark and their political system.
God damn it! The Netherlands!
The Netherlands. Holland, the Netherlands, Dutch.
Yes, but not Holland.
Windmills and clogs.
Sure.
Can we just say Kutsu comes from a fantasy kingdom with elves and dwarves
Pretty much.
that probably wear clogs and have windmills?
I mean, some of that was true.
The clogs and windmills part?
Yes, that part.
They're the tulip place.
The tulip place, yeah.
It's a small world after all.
And cheese. Good cheese.
Mail me a cheese.
I don't think he can.
I don't think, you can't just mail cheese.
It has to be refrigerated, damn it.
Come on, man.
Anyway.
That wouldn't help, technically, but...
That has been this week's Atomic Silver Lining. We actually had good news. Talked about some
we talked about cheese.
New TV, which is great. And we will continue to talk about new TV as we keep watching new TV.
And I'm likely to make $100 in stock tomorrow, and I'm pretty excited.
Yay! So
I don't know if I should sell or wait. I guess if it starts dipping, I'll sell.
Steve's still talking fucking pot stocks.
Well, that's because I've made almost $200 off that one damn stock.
Because I told you to.
For
For more weed stock advice, please contact Disdonn Plays and give him some money on Twitch.
Give him $7.
Give me $20. Give me $60, because then I can buy Pokemon as well.
Just give him enough money so he can actually cash out.
Yay! But this has been Disdonn with
And
special
Steve.
guest, with a special guest, Kutsu. All
From
the way,
Denmark.
All from the Nether Regions.
Originally, yes.
From the Nether Regions. And this has been Atomic Silver Lining. We're out. We'll see you next week, people.